Okay, we got a crazy eight. You see, you can enter into the crazy eight. Mm, Okay. Anyway, okay. Now you got a sleeper bank. You got a settler bank. You got a you know sleeper bank, settler bank, another settler's bank, sleeper bank. You see. Okay, it's called the crazy eight. Okay, now failure to establish a constant level altitude prior to entering a maneuver. Okay, failure to maintain adequate altitude control during the maneuver, and failure to properly assess wind direction. Okay, can you not hear the words that are coming out of my mouth? Okay, the failure to properly execute constant radius turns. Okay, now, can you not hear the words that are coming out of my mouth? You see? You have failure to follow directions. These are crazy eights, okay? Now, a failure to manipulate the flight controls in a smooth and continuous manner. A failure to establish the appropriate wind correction angles. A failure to apply coordinated aileron and rudder pressure, resulting in slips or skids. You know, you know, and then a failure to maintain orientation as the maneuver progresses. Now, this is in the open air. In the open air, you have a little room for correction because you can recover. You could see where you're going. Now, let me tell you the difference between the air and the water beneath. This is the waters above. They're a little more forgiving. The waters beneath, you don't have anything to see. You have to see in the dark. And they say, blinded by science. Okay? Oh, well. In a U.S. Navy submarine, you're under the water. Half the battle is already lost because you can't see. Out of the darkness, he said. Out of the darkness and into the light when that submarine surfaces because, we had to make sonar and all kinds of cool stuff so we could maneuver like the lost sheep and the blind in the dark, He said, hey, man, you can't see nothing as you're in a submarine. Failure to follow the proper maneuvers, in the proper directions, you're done, man. Okay? And so, controlled environment and with some controls of, having to be more precise. You see? Because uncontrolled environment, different weather patterns and stuff, more precise because you're in the dark under the water. Silent service. You see? Now it's the eights on pylons, when you surface a ship and you're sailing on the ocean, you could tie off to a pylon and you're good to go, The eights on pylons is the most advanced and difficult of the ground reference maneuvers because of the techniques involved. The eights on pylons are unmatched for developing intuitive control of the airplanes. Similar to eights around pylons, except altitude is varied to maintain a specific visual reference to the pivot points. Okay? Now pay attention. Similar to eights around pylons, except altitude is varied to maintain a specific visual, okay? Visual reference to the pivot points. Now, when you're in a submarine with your airplane wings under the water, you don't have a visual, man. You got instrumentation. So that's where we came up with some of the instrumentation for these airplanes, Now, I want to tell you something about that. It's real, the information I'm giving you, because you go over to Hosea, you see, a heaven of sea, the sea, like, the Navy, NIV, see, the heaven of, solutions, okay, education, America, okay, education, America, that's important, let go. Israel to reap the whirlwind, okay, it's real, to reap the whirlwind, You find out more about these weather patterns, open both eyes, you get a speck in your eye, look at that, man. Well, it could be a tornado or a hurricane, crazy eights, man. In one way, it's like the sands of time. You turn it sideways, and you go, man. Well, a hurricane, it brings the stuff down, and a tornado, it brings the stuff up, So finding like a crazy eight pattern, man. So you say, and put the trumpet to your lips. An eagle is over the house of the Lord, because the people have broken my covenant and rebelled against my law. Israel cries out to me, Israelis, They call out to me, our God, we acknowledge you, but Israel has rejected what is good. An enemy will pursue him. They set up kings without my consent. They choose princes without my approval. With their silver and gold, they make idols for themselves to their own destruction. Samaria, throw out your calf idol. My anger burns against them. How long will they be incapable of purity? They are from Israel. Okay? This calf, a metal worker, has made it. It is not God. It will be broken into pieces. The calf of Samaria. They sow the wind and reap the whirlwind. Okay? So, we made planes. Okay? We made planes. And our planes, they fly, any direction we need them to. Why? Because in God we trust. You see? In God we trust. That's why we say, you got silver wings, you gotta have pure wings to fly with God, man. And then we'll go, hey, well, what did Jose say? Jose, Joe say? G.I. Joe say what, man? That's the American Army Corps of Engineers, man. This is all. And just educate, We need an exorcism. Okay, everybody exercise, man. Here we go. Let's talk about Mark. Make a difference. Leave a mark, man. What kind of mark you gonna leave with your children? Good education, man. A space system, tourism, education, awesomeness. Okay, here we go. Well, and Jesus, just educate and save the United States and drives out an impure spirit. You all American, man. Remember that. Look, they went to Capernaum, and when the Sabbath came, Jesus went into the synagogue and began to teach, make an impact. We got some ministers, man. They're like an Impact Christian Academy, man, but they got a bunch of different names at all these different academies across the United States. They're all making impacts, man. Make a difference with the mad scientists, because the scientists, man, they work a long time on all this stuff. And they're like, well, we're mad about it, so make a difference. The people were amazed at his teaching because he taught them as one nation educating, who had authority, the authority given to them by God, the Constitution of the United States and the divine divinity, You see, divine authority, the divinity of God. It says, not as the teacher of the law. Just then a man in their synagogue, who was possessed by an impure spirit, cried out, what do you want with us, Jesus of Nazareth? Have you come to destroy us? I know who you are, the Holy One of God. Be quiet, said, just educate, save the United States. Sternly, come out of him. The impure spirit shook the man violently and came out of him with a shriek. The people were all so amazed. They asked each other, what is this? A new teaching? And with authority, he even gives orders to impure spirits, and they obey him. Now, news about him spread quickly over the whole region of Galilee. Why? Because we built an international space station. The United States, America, a United Space Agency, and an international space agency. And we built, one of the best countries in the world for all the countries in the world. And we got a big America, man. It's like a BA of the, A team, man. The Bachelor's America, man. It's like, hey, did you guys have a wedding or what? We'll marry people to the truth of God. And I go, man, what a concept. So, all these acts. Everybody says, oh, it's a book of Acts, and they see a book and they forget about the actions, man. And I says, okay. So, he said, well, your United States Navy, you see, we sent out the 2 Corinthians, man. I signed into a church once. I said, hey, I'm 1 Corinthians Minister Kirk. I says, well, sometimes people need a second chance. So I was like, maybe they'll learn now. It says, praise to God, all comfort. We sent on a ship called Hope and Mercy, for comfort, praise to the God of all comfort. Praise be to the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ. Who said that? Jesus, just educate and save the United States. The teachers, man. Christ, his wisdom, The Lord is, the teachers of wisdom, our forefathers, man, the ones that made the Constitution of the United States of America, the Father of compassion and the God of all comfort, which is wisdom, who comforts us in all our troubles, so that we can comfort those in any trouble with the comfort we ourselves receive from God. For just as we share abundantly in the sufferings of wisdom, so also our comfort abounds through wisdom. If we are distressed, it is for your comfort and salvation. If we are comforted, it is for your comfort, which produces in you patient endurance. I said patience. Patience is not just a necessity, okay? It's not just a virtue. Patience. It says, which produces in you patience. The love and understanding of God, the endurance, which is the armor of God, of the same sufferings we suffer. You see? And our hope for you is firm, because we stand firm in the hope and faith of God and righteousness, because we know that just as you share in our sufferings, so also you share in our comfort. And that's why the United States Navy said, hey, here's a boat. It's called Hope and Must See the Truth. We do not want you to be uninformed. We like informed citizens to make informed decisions about the future. Brothers and sisters, about the troubles we experienced in the province of Asia, and we were under great pressure, far beyond our ability to endure. So we despaired of life itself. Indeed, we felt we had received the sentence of death. But this happened that we might not rely on ourselves, but on God, who raises the dead. He has delivered us from such a deadly peril, and he will deliver us again with the Mars mission. On him we have set our hope that he will continue to deliver us, as you help us by your prayers. And then many will give thanks on our behalf for the gracious favor granted us in answer to the prayers of many. E pluribus unum, out of many, one prayer to the heavens above, that God blessed America, to bless the world.